used to think, why am I here? I used to think, just, what's my purpose? God, why did you put me on this earth? What's the point? I've always wanted to know why. Well, here's my story to how I found out. When I was younger, I went through a lot of stuff that a child should never go through. I have witnessed and learned things a child should never learn until they're of age. I, like most kids, looked up to their parents. I wanted to be just like them. I love my parents. And I'm not trying to say anything mean or negative about them, but this is the truth. My mom, she was a tough person. She was a little stubborn. Someone who is always right and will hurt you if you make her mad enough. My dad was very stubborn. He would probably fight you and probably not care. He liked using his words, and the worst thing of all is the worst thing he could ever do to me is make me be a Bears fan. Sorry, that was a little joke. No one cared. But they were probably not the best role models for me or my sister. They smoked around us, and we would watch rated R movies in front of us. They'd do things they shouldn't do, and this you can explain a lot watching rated R movies if you know me. But I thought I needed to be just like them. I ended up stealing from my parents, and I would steal cigarettes and money from them all the time because that's what I learned. Me and a friend would steal from them and his brothers, which later in our years of doing that stuff, we stole from his brothers who had weed, and we didn't know it was weed at first, but it's what we did. One time I was going to steal from my parents, and they walked in, so I hid so they wouldn't catch me. And I watched them, as a little child, crush up a pill and snort it. And, well, as they left, I went over to the table where the leftovers was, and I snorted myself and I tried it. Because that's what I thought I was supposed to do. I was a kid, that's what I looked up to them. And I'm going to be completely honest, it sucked. That hurt my nose. My nose hurt for weeks. To be completely honest, don't ever accidentally snort something. Which, if you accidentally do something like that, kind of weird. Later in my life, more bad crap happened. I moved back again with my parents. My grandparents. Would go back and forth. That happened a lot. And with my parents, pretty much what they made me and my sister feel like is all my grandparents were good for was getting food and toys. And again, I was a kid, so toys was the thing on my mind besides food. And all I'm going to say right now is that I'm sorry, because those two had to deal with a lot because of my parents. They never gave up on me or Jasmine, so I just want to say thank you to you two. Sorry, I lost myself. I had to use a guide. But as we go back and forth with our grandparents and our parents, I had to quit smoking or I would finally get caught. And after that, I developed an anger problem and I ended up hating like everyone. One person I have to say sorry to is my little sister. Because people might think we don't have a great relationship now, but it's way, way better than what it used to be. With my anger issue, I sadly became a abusive brother, verbally and physically. I used to blame her for everything. I would yell at her, and I would hit her. I used to not care about her, or anyone. I would never stand up for her, because I blamed her for all my failures and all my problems. I act like I cared in front of my family, but I never cared. I would pretty terrible things to my sister. But now, the only time you'd ever hear me yell at her is if she came in my room and made me lose a game while playing Fortnite. I can't cry on stage, so I had to make jokes. And she'd be making me lose because she'd be trying to show me her secret slime collection she had hidden from Nan. Oops, I wasn't supposed to say that. If you know me, I call everyone my brother or my sister. And it's not because I want a new sister. That's not it at all. I love my sister to death. I just can't believe she would still love me for all the bad things I've said and did to her. But I call others my brothers and sisters because I want to restart. Because I did so much wrong and I want to take it all back, but there's no way I can. My little baby cousins, Kylie, Bexley, and Mercy, I treat them like they're my little sisters. Because I don't want them to ever grow up and know me as a terrible or abusive family member. They call me their bubby because they look up to me, and I promise them that I will be the best big brother to them. And I promise that Jasmine I will be a better brother to her. Now, because of all that stuff, we ended up having to go slow back and forth. Last time, finally moved in with grandparents, custody. My grandparents forced me and Jasmine to go to church. And I'll be completely honest, I didn't want to at first. I then started going with a little interest because, like most guys, and you guys can argue with me, it's because the girls. Let's be honest. Nan would always tell me the best kind of girl is a church girl, and I for sure know that. But I would never come up for the right reason to come to church. So I would never, back then, you could tell me I'd be up here, and I never thought I'd ever be up here giving a testimony and teaching a lesson or nothing. Till one night, this guy I never met before in my life walks into our youth room with this other guy named Brian. Everyone knows Brian. I love Brian. He was cool. He said his name is Jamie and I play the drums, and I was like, "You're cool." But he said he was going to be the new youth pastor, and I still said, "You're cool." But that night just felt very different to me. He taught a lesson that made us feel different. I started to get this feeling like I needed to tell the youth something, but I was always just like, what? One night, Jamie said something about test movies, and that night I asked Jamie if I could teach a lesson. He said, sure. So I did, and I felt great. That was the first time I gave my testimony, and I was told by Jamie that God is calling me into the ministry, and I believe it. I'm going to go to college someday, and I'm going to go be a youth pastor, and I'm going to do exactly what God wants me to do. I have a story. There's people out there that are going through what I've been through. I truly have a better life because I would be in two places right now. If I was still with my parents, and you guys ever wanted to visit me, there's two places that you'd end up visiting me. You'd be visiting me at a jail, or you'd be visiting me at a cemetery. Because I truly believe if I kept doing the things I did, I'd be in one of those two places. People I used to hang out with and use with. I lost one friend. He ended up doing drugs for a long time. Ended up being high one night, riding his bike. Didn't see a car coming. Straight through the windshield. Dead. I couldn't go to his funeral because it broke my heart knowing that could have been me. And then another friend of mine who is, I believe, in jail again with a child. I wouldn't want to be in that place. He still is a person dear to my heart because I grew up with him. But there's no way I could be in that place again. I thank God for saving me, sending me 2 wonderful grandparents that would force me to get out of the house, got me out of my old house, helped me realize what's better, where I need to be, showed me how I need to treat people, and taught me how I'm a survivor. And I also thank God for bringing Jamie. Jamie is the person that helped me see my calling. He helped me find out what my purpose was. My purpose is to help others and to serve God. It hurts me sometimes to tell my story, especially how much I went into detail more for you guys, because I'm still very much ashamed of all the things I have. But as I was sitting here listening to the praise team sing, I'm no longer a slave to fear. There was nothing I'm glad you guys picked that song. I didn't even know you guys were picking it. That helped me so much. I was afraid to come up here. I was afraid to give my testimony. I was afraid to tell you guys a lot of the things I wrote down. This morning I was writing this all down, literally trying my best not to cry up there. And that made me feel so much better. So thanks, praise team. Thank you, Jamie, for helping me go through a lot of things that I go through. Showing me that a youth pastor can have struggles and he can overcome them. Someday, I want to be just like you. I want to be a youth pastor. I love you, Jamie. And I love all of you so very much. Thank you for letting me tell my testimony.